Civ 7's new combat mechanics could reinvigorate warfare in the series. So I recently explained why I think that cities in Civ 7 could be a game changer, but they're not the only part of the game that's actually adding cool new mechanics, while simultaneously streamlining the gameplay, removing some of the slightly tedious elements. No, to the contrary, units and combat are right up there as one of Civ 7's most revolutionary features. So, what's changed and why am I so impressed? Well, the biggest change in this area is the introduction of commanders. By the way, these have replaced Great Generals, and Rome has a really cool unique one called the Legatus, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a future video. Now, the most striking feature of commanders is that they can pack up all the units of an army into one tile and transport them to the battlefield, deploying them upon arrival. You might not agree with this, but in previous Civ games, armies have often felt a little bit disconnected to me, and quite a lot like just a group of individual units. In contrast, for the Antiquity Age at least, Civ 7's battles now look and feel a whole lot more like the meeting of two great armies, which for that era in time, feels more historically authentic. Just watching armies move around the map under the leadership of their commander alongside their deployment to the battlefield gives the feeling that your units are part of one connected, one formidable fighting force which, without sounding too much like the history nerd that I most certainly am, I find it really quite satisfying. To be clear, this isn't just an aesthetically pleasing change though. I actually think that commanders will also enhance the military gameplay a lot. Like so many of the key changes in Civ 7, these changes are in part designed to remove some of those tedious micromanagement elements. With the commander moving all of your units together at once, there's far less of the time-consuming business of moving every unit across the map one at a time, which I personally find is a nice win. The streamlining doesn't end there though. In previous Civ games, every single one of your units could be promoted. In Civ 7, your commanders collect all the XP from battles. They're the only unit type which can be promoted, and they provide the bonuses from their promotions to all units within their command radius. The command radius is a default radius of 1 tile, but this can rise to 2 tiles with the relevant promotions. This has a cool effect on giving each army a unique identity depending on the direction you decide to take with your commander's promotions. You could have one army dug in for defense, you could have one army designed to conquer your rivals, and you could have one army with the ability to move and deploy quickly to win short, sharp victories. Basically, I think commanders will give each army a much more distinct feel, and I like it. Commanders have other intriguing features too. Should a commander be defeated on the battlefield before being able to deploy their army, every unit under its command will automatically deploy, but they will take a significant amount of damage in the process. They also have access to several unique actions, including the brand new group attack. This action directs every one of your units of a specific type in an army. For example, you may use all your archers to target a single enemy unit. Every unit involved in this action appears to gain a small combat bonus, and should the enemy be destroyed before the attack is complete, any units that did not get to attack retain their movement points for that turn. Once again, this is not streamlining gameplay for the sake of it. It will in fact add fun new strategies and decisions for players to make within Civilization 7's combat. Commanders aren't the only change to combat made for Civ 7. We also know that warfare will interact with the new city mechanics, with captured cities now becoming towns. Will this make conquering less worthwhile if you'll need to spend your influence to return a captured settlement to its city status? There's other new mechanics too for players to consider, with occupation penalties for newly captured cities and war weariness being two of the biggest. I'm looking forward to finding out more about these soon, presumably in a future dev diary. I'm not pretending that combat and war will feel completely different in Civ 7, in fact I think that in many ways it will feel quite familiar, with lots of core aspects remaining similar, and things like flanking bonuses and the ability for units to plunder and pillage tiles staying. What I do think though, is that by introducing the new features we've discussed in this video, and by streamlining the gameplay to remove some of the more tedious elements, Civ 7 could reinvigorate warfare in the series. If you want to know why I think that cities could be a game changer in Civ 7, then why not check out the video on screen now. As for this video, do you like what you've seen from Civ 7's combat so far? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will catch you soon.